Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Eddie Wall. I'm here with Jared White, production manager of Never Summer. And we were here yesterday, and we're doing a full week here at Never Summer because we're building a snowboard from scratch. And yesterday we got pretty far along with it. We chose the whole base. We got the side cut. We thinned out the core, and then put the edges on, drill the inserts. And today we are taking it to the next level, which is graphics. Yep. And before we get started, I do want to mention that I have a phone here, so we will be taking any comments or questions. We'll answer them in real time. So, yeah, please feel free to comment and question. And also, this weekend is Snowboard on the Block, October 14th and 15th in Denver, Colorado. So, if you're going to go there, definitely want to go there. Tons of premieres, music, snowboarding. And also, we're going to be giving away this snowboard that we're building here. It's going to be a custom Transworld and Never Summer snowboard. So, Jared, what are we doing today?
Yeah, so today we're going to go over the graphic process. So we're going to start out talking to Jeremy Sawyer, our graphic designer, and then he's going to send that graphic over to the print shop. We're going to go in there and look at the whole printing process.
Okay. Well, let's check out Jeremy's office and go from there.
Hey, Jeremy.
Oh, hello there.
Hey, what's up, guys?
This is the behind the scenes here at the Never Summer office. What happens in this room? We
You don't want to know. Yeah.
The war room.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, it's a dorm room. It's we typically have the international sales manager in here, Tony. He's on the road right now. We've got Gags, our sales manager.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Gags. Howdy.
And I'm Jeremy, as he just mentioned, art director here at Never Summer. Been here about 14 and a half years. Yeah, doing graphics for everything.
Okay. So, we just told the audience that we're designing a Transworld snowboard here, Transworld Never Summer snowboard, from the ground up, including choosing the core and everything. So we have some graphics here. Do you want to kind of take us through the graphics, maybe, show us what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's, I have a ton of email, just like anybody. It's a real downer. It's just part of the job. But yeah, as far as the design process goes, I mean, really, we get started long ahead, year-ish out. We all meet, sort of talk about what we've done in the past, sort of what new projects might be coming up in the future, new boards, shapes, etc., how that might affect graphics. Obviously, that will affect graphics. And, yeah, I mean, a lot of meetings, a lot of fighting over different designs. It's concepting a ton of different designs. Once we've done that, then we meet again and fight, which is awesome. No, but it's all good. We speak to a lot of shop people, a lot of shop owners, a lot of shop employees, friends, family. Everybody basically gets an opinion in what we're doing, and we love that. That's how we feel like we produce the best product, board shape-wise, flex, everything about the product comes from the culmination working as a team and working together and going over that stuff. So
have you done artwork, pretty much your whole life?
yeah, I just started like any other, artist, drawing and painting as a kid. As soon as I could pick up pencil, paintbrush, all that good stuff, watercolors, charcoals, oils. Then eventually got into, of course, was into it in school and art and all that kind of stuff. And when I realized being a professional, metal drummer wasn't going to happen for me, I just decided to keep continuing the education. Went to school in Washington State, so grew up around Seattle. Yeah, writing a ton at Snoqualmie, Alpental, Mount Stevens. Stevens Pass kicks ass. Yeah, home mountains. But I always had a lot of appreciation, love, and respect for Colorado. So eventually moved out here with no job at the time, just a little bit of money saved to get me by for a bit, and ended up with these folios and doing my thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so take us through, you guys, we just came in here. You have the graphic pulled up, and what are the steps here?
I mean, really, it's just, there's not too much more to it other than it's a blank canvas. You can see we've got the Transworld logo in here. Pretty much when we start, there's not much more to it than, let me see, let me give you an example. Sorry, this isn't very exciting when it's not working. Yeah, so basically, that's how it starts.
Okay.
And
That is a blank canvas.
yeah, throw some inserts in there. So we've got that. Job isn't quite finished there. And then really it's just adding in a ton of different elements, layering. Like I said, as we're going through everything, we're all going over the various details. This particular board is a twin setup, the proto with an asymmetrical cut. Therefore, we didn't want to have a completely centered looking graphic as far as there's not necessarily one right side up area, as you know.
Yeah. We got a couple questions coming in here. Yeah. Kyle Morris, is there anywhere to buy prints on these of the graphics on previous or upcoming boards?
We've sold some in the past where we mounted them on material on wood and things like that. I know it's something that we've discussed in the future. Yeah. As of now, there's not one spot, at least that I'm aware of, where website where you can purchase the graphics. Yeah. But I think it'd be pretty cool. Some of these I think really lend themselves to presentation on the wall. I think would look pretty sweet. Yeah.
Otherwise, you just have to buy the board.
That's right. That's right. Hang that up, bolt it up, nail it, whatever you do, and yeah.
Cool.
That's the deal with that.
Lindsay Peterson, awesome. Hello from Eugene, Oregon. Bring on the snow. For sure. We all agree. Let's see. How long, this is a good question. Matt Gowring, how long do you usually spend on a graphic for a board?
Oh, man. It really depends. Like I said, we start basically a year out from the trade show from SIA. Mm-hmm. I could put anywhere from 10 hours into it to 50. It just depends. I mean, we're talking about meeting times and small tweaks and changing colors. Once I have what I think is a successful design, it's just constant revisions. It's something, being able to produce here really gives us the ability to go back and make change after change after change. Sometimes we can kind of pull our hair out over something like that. But it's rad because we are right here. It's like I go to the print room, look at a proof. If we don't like it, want to change something, I update it, we change it again. So it really depends. There's not a specific minute or hour.
Right. Francesco Grassi, can you tell us?
I like it.
Yeah. Can you tell us the story of the logo? That's the Never Summer logo.
Basically, it just comes from being an American-based company. That's where the eagle came from. Obviously, Eagles, freedom, USA. So that's where it came from. Originally, the eagle was, it didn't have the stencil around it. It was an eagle shape, and it was sort of offset, a little wonky. When I came in, I got together with the original artist, Sam Turner. He drew the eagle, an amazing artist we've been working with. He was working with the owners even before I was around. I added on the stencil just to sort of solidify it, and that's where it came from.
All right, perfect. Let's see. We got a couple. Chris Keisler, Gags in the house.
Yes, I am, Chris.
Yes, he is in the house.
I've got a beard too, damn it.
And he's got a beard. Well, so when you're finished up, now you click and just send this just over to the next building or next room?
Yeah, the next room. Like I said, it's all here. We're contained in one little area, and one sort of like little big area, and it's rad. So, let's go back and take a look at the next step.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's head to the print room. We're going. All right, Gags.
Smell you later.
Okay, so we're going to the print room. Going to get a bit loud for a minute. Heading through the factory. Oh, and we're not even wearing eye protection. This is crazy. Yeah. We just had to cover up the glasses. So if you were tuning in yesterday, this is where we were. We spent a lot of time putting the edges, choosing the core, the base. And today, we'll be back in here tomorrow, but for today, we're going to be just doing all the graphics. As you can see right here, we got a couple of the split boards. Split board setup, pretty rad. So that's a sneak peek right there. All right, let's check out the design room here. A little bit more quiet in here as well. All right. So, Over here we have, is this Chris Winchell? Hey, Chris, how are you?
How's it going? What's up, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just had the graphics kind of laid out on the computer.
Yep.
And do you want to grab this mic and walk us through the next steps?
Cool. Yeah, so when Jeremy finishes up the graphics, he sends them down my way. So I've actually got my email set up, man. It looks like I got it here. We'll set it up in Photoshop. And what we do is when I receive the files from Jeremy, we proof everything. So we put it into Photoshop or Illustrator, whatever program we're using. And we'll go through and we'll make sure, we'll crop it out, make sure that it's the correct size and everything like that. I've got a list of all the sizes that we use for everything we do. So for this particular model, we're going to keep it at about 67 inches. We're going to make sure that it's nice and big for the snowboard that it's going on. So from that point, we just double check, make sure that the graphic is intact, make sure everything's where it needs to be, the layout of the graphic and everything. So we'll go ahead and we'll save that. And as that's saving, I'll be sending it, once it's done, I'll send it right over here to this computer station and this printer that's just here to our left. So once that's good, we'll get it up over here. Looks like it's saved through. This one's going on right now. It's almost finished up with this graphic going. But here on this computer is where I will run all the printers. We got 4 small printers up in here, and we got this big giant guy in the back. This is for our large media. And we run all our longboards and our snowboards off the smaller printers up in here. So this right here, I've got the program pulled up already. So as you can see, I've got a few files ready. We've got some NS25 hat decals that we're going to be doing at the Snowboard on the Block this weekend as well. Oh, nice. So we got those ready for print. But for the graphic, we'll come through. We'll, kind of go to our little menu thing up in here, and then just as quick as that, just receive that file. So that's the graphic there. It's all the way pulled out, so I'll zoom in a little bit, and you can see Transworld Snowboarding 30 years right there, mocked up on our new Proto T2 graphic. So from this point, it's imperative, that I'm just double checking and making sure that the size is correct, which I got like a little ruler over here on the side. But I can also hover over the graphic, make sure that the dimensions of the graphic are good, make sure that the color profiles are all correct. And then from that point, I'm going to duplicate it. So we print in 3. You can see the sheet here. So we'll print in 3 so we're not wasting any material, and we'll have everything available in case we need. So just quick click. Got now 3 of those graphics instead of just the 1. Kind of see them right there. So they're all 3. Same exact graphics, same colors and everything like that. So it's super imperative coming from this Mac computer over to this station here that the colors are going to stay roughly the same. It's going to be a little bit different, because the monitors are different colors and stuff like that, but primarily the same. So this printer here is ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this print button. It's going to bring this up, and we're going to send it on through. So these are Sublimation dye printers. So we're using a water-based ink out of this, and we're using a clay-based paper. And the important reason for the paper is to absorb as much ink as possible. So that way when we go to our sublimation process, we'll be able to have, all the ink that we need and be able to transfer it into our material over on the other side of the room here, which is what we'll do in just a couple of minutes. This particular printers, it'll take about 5 minutes or so to print out this sheet here, maybe a little less. It depends on the colors and what graphic it is. Like the solid black is a solid color, so it doesn't take nearly as long. It doesn't have to think about it as much. But
well,
yeah,
let's take a couple questions.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dimitar Markov, which is your favorite graphic ever?
My favorite graphic ever was a F1. I think it was from the 2008 season. It was like a sunset over the mountains, and it was just super mellow and really rad. And that's what that board was. It was a deep powder board, so it's just it matched the board perfectly. So that was my favorite.
Let's see. Cody B. Clark, Shaka, Jeremy, and Eddie. All right, Shaka. Adrian Anderson, I got that T-shirt. Okay. Sean Tidor. Oh, well, this was maybe a question for the last room, but what is off limits as far as content goes, and how far can you push the risk factor with graphics? Do you know about that?
A little bit, yeah. So we're still a pretty small company. Like our home base. Like we have an international reach, so we want to try to tailor our graphics to the consumer and everything like that. But we're going to keep it more, I don't want to say corporate, but for lack of better words, they're probably going to kill me after this.
No, not corporate,
In
but
that
not
sense,
offensive.
like, yeah, not offensive in that sense. Like we're trying to tailor the graphic to, society and things like that. So we're not going to put any images that are going to offend anybody or anything like that. And that's also a reason that we have a trade show at the beginning of the year. At the end of January and stuff, is so we can run our graphics and people can see them. And say, hey, you know what? I think this is really going to catch on. Or I think that this graphic doesn't really have any stability to it and things like that. So we put it out in the market and let people really see them prior, and then we'll adjust from there if need be.
Perfect. Sean Tidor, do you screen print top sheets?
We don't do any screen printing in-house. No, we don't do anything like that. Our process is completely dye sublimation, which we'll get into here in just a minute once this is done printing.
Okay, let's see here. We got a few more questions. If you're just tuning in, we're here at the Never Summer Graphics Studio. Wait, is this the graphics studio or printing studio?
Yeah, the printing studio. Okay. Yeah, print room.
Print room. Just behind us is all the crazy factories. We're here for the whole week building a snowboard from the ground up. If you look over here down to the left of the printer, you can see the Never Summer / Transworld 30th anniversary board getting printed out. Let's take a couple more questions. We are live, so feel free to ask any questions, and we'll get them answered for you. Let's see, scrolling down here. Shaka Gags. A lot of Gags fans out there. Jeff Shafroth, where's your beard?
Yeah, so I saw this yesterday. You don't have to have a beard to work here. Fortunately, apparently it's preferred. Fortunately, I have Native American, so I don't grow it, so I don't have to buy razors. So,
That is awesome. I'm super jealous.
I've never had to really pay for a razor, so
That rules.
save money in that sense.
I've got a question for you, Chris. Why on the graphics? Why are the letters printed backwards?
So yeah, we can take the camera down here and check it. If you guys look, everything is coming out backwards. It's a mirrored image of what we're going to see on screen and what the final product's going to be. And the reason for that is because this ink right here, this graphic will be placed face down onto our raw material, our top sheet material. So once that process is complete, it's going to come out and actually be the correct way. So we do it this way because it's basically going onto the material backwards. And when the finished product comes out, it'll be the right way.
All right, that's okay. That's amazing. I did not know that. Let's see. Brad Aug, I can't hear him. Kyle Morris, I can hear him fine. Hashtag I love my Android. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here, wait. Let me take. You know what? Here, I'll take this thing off. All right. All right. Now maybe you could hear me a little bit better. No more windscreen. It's not too windy in here, is it? Anyways.
It's nice.
Okay. Let's see here. Going back up here. Oh, where is this here? Jeff Shafroth, what top sheet options do you offer, and what is the benefit of one over the other? Is that what we kind of just discussed?
A little bit. I mean, we offer 5 different materials. We offer a gloss material, which we used to do. We don't run any of our Never Summer products on that. We work with OEM partners for that. We have a matte material, a carbonium material, and then 2 new materials that we've actually introduced this year. One is our True Grit, and the other is our Hex Tech, which is it's like they're both vinyl materials, the True Grit and the Hex Tech, and those are brand new materials. And when we get over to that side of the room, I'll kind of show them. Yeah. I mean, they're all the same color material, so it'll be a little hard to see the texture on them, but we'll do our best to kind of check that out. So.
All right. Well, let's take a walk over. We just got this printed out. It's ready to bring it on to the next stage. Let's see here. Just reading a couple more of these questions. Oh, Leland McNamara just tuned in. Oh, Sean Tidor, turn your mic volume up. I guess, sorry if we're having some troubles with the mic. I'm trying to. Yesterday we were shouting into it, and then people were saying that we were talking too loud. So maybe we're just being a little too soft-spoken today. Jesse Taft, why do you guys not have a larger selection of women's snowboards? I mean, it's a smaller demographic, I would imagine. Right.
It is, and we introduced the women's proto this past year as well, so we're kind of definitely trying to grow that portion of our industry or of our product. Yep. So
perfect.
It's on the rise.
Yeah. Okay, so now what are we doing here?
So what we got here, this is the cutting table, so we can get a nice, precise, straight cut down the graphics. So as you can see, the graphics laid up here, and then we got this. We got it sized up. So what we'll do is we'll just go through and we'll cut it. We used to do this all by hand back in the day with a razor blade knife, so having this is definitely a lot easier and a lot quicker. Yeah. So doing that, we get the graphic now here as this individual piece, and what we're going to do We're going to go around to this side of the room and start the sublimation process.
We're going to the sublimation process. As you can see, bunch of graphics here. It's pretty rad. What's happening?
So this is Taylor.
What's up, Taylor?
T Swift, we call him. We like to call him T Swift in here. He's our sublimation tech. So what he's going to do is I pass all the graphics off to Taylor, and what his responsibility is to go down here. We got all our materials laid up down here underneath the table, all the materials that I mentioned earlier. So what he's going to do is he's going to grab the correct material for the graphic that we're doing. For this specific board, we're doing matte material, which is right here. Matte material is going to produce like kind of like a flat effect on the snowboard. The colors aren't going to be like super bright and poppy, like you would get with a traditional gloss material. And then down here we also have our carbonium material, which is right here. This is kind of a carbon fiber look to it. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see. It's a little hard to see this material here, but if you kind of get an angle on it, you can kind of see how it's sort of a carbon fiber sort of look. And then we have our gloss material, which is here, which is, you know, the traditional kind of material that we used back in the day. Some companies still do use that. And then over here is our true grit material. If you want to get, it's kind of like a sandpaper, sort of a gritty sandpaper material there. And then our Hex Tech, which I don't think we have any stored in here today, but actually we do. It's right here. Yep. Sort of like similar to the carbonium, but a different pattern. Sort of like the same effect on that as well. So those are our 5 types of materials. Carbonium goes on our carbonium series boards. The question earlier that Jeff asked is like, how does it tailor to it? Our carbonium series boards are like our proto boards, our higher end models and stuff like that is what we use that for. Cool. So, and then usually our park boards are the matte material here. So.
Couple more questions. Kyle Sullivan, if T-Swift totally blows a graphic placement, what happens to the strictly cosmetic blems? Do you guys sell them out of the factory?
If it's not too bad, we'll reuse it as a pro form for other companies. But if it's too bad, we have to trash it because we don't want to put a bad product out.
Okay. Another very good question. Tony Evans, what product does he use in that beautiful hair?
All natural.
Natural hair grease.
That's just all natural hair grease, baby. Let's see. Can you use color-changing ink like chameleon paint? Ben Nelson.
That would be cool. It would be very cool, but I don't think we have that technology.
That'd be more of a screen printing application as far as, you know, aside from printing.
Kulepa. Hey, guys, great and awesome work that you're doing. Thank you very much. Do you only work with computer graphics, or are any of the graphics done by hand? Jeremy?
Yeah. Thank you. Excuse me. No, we use all sorts of art. We actually work with quite a bit of hand-drawn art, original art, no clip art, things like that. I do have a few artists I work with. They kind of, come and go. I've used a lot of same guys over the years, like Hydro74. Sam Turner's a local artist in Denver. He does a lot of heavy metal stuff. When 3 Inches of Blood was around, he did all of their original artwork. He does a lot for us. So yeah, a lot of it we bring in, original drawn stuff, scanned, cleaned up. So it's really a mix of everything. Like I've mentioned before, watercolors, oil paintings, charcoal, you name it. It's like we do it all. Back to you.
Question or a comment here. Jesse Taft. I just got the 2017 Funslinger, and I love it, but it would be cool if they made some women's graphics that looked less feminine. Oh, we got a rocker. We got a rocker chick. Okay, well, there you guys go. Maybe the next women's graphic will just be like skulls and stuff. Yeah.
That's right. Never know. Yeah, no, we know there's all sorts of female writers out there. There's not one type. There's the really, there's the girls that love the pink and black, and then there's the girls that absolutely hate it. Ones that like the scariest stuff, the aggressive imagery, and the Slayer for the Slayer fans out there, and then Maiden, But it's really a mix of everything, and like I've said before, we really do speak to a lot of people to come to final decisions. It's not just a bunch of guys sitting around that make these decisions. We really defer to the women on these things, whether it's our girlfriends, our wives, friends of ours, shop people. It's really, we take it all in.
All right. So what is the next step here?
All right, cool. So what we got going here is Taylor cut the piece of material at length for the graphic that we need. So over here, what he's going to do is going to square everything up. We've got the graphic laid on one side of the table, the raw material laid on the other. This little orange thing here he's using to clean the graphic off, get rid of any dust or any sort of particles that can cause a cosmetic blem. So this is where I was telling you this is the reason that the graphics are printed backwards, is because he's laying it face down on the raw material at this point. And then this big white beast over here behind him is our sublimation press. So this thing runs at 400 degrees for about 1:20 and at 80 psi. And basically the whole point of that is to make sure that the ink is becoming embedded into the actual material. So it's not like it's not just on top of the material. It's going to be hugely scratch resistant. If we were to take and cut that material, you would be able to see that the ink is actually embedded into that raw material. So yeah, this press runs at about 1:25, like I said, depending on the colors. We got some dark colors on this, so we're going to run a little higher and make sure that those colors come through solid.
Let's take a couple questions while this thing steams itself into the, that's my technical terms I'm using, while this it irons the graphics into the top sheet. So here we go. Paul-Andre Bellevue. Any books that you can get so that you can start doing this trade, or internships or schools? I guess just essentially, yeah, is there, what path do you take to getting into, a job like this?
I think if you go to school, I went to school for multimedia technology, so it was a huge range. It consisted of graphic design, film editing, and any sort of media that we have. So another thing that you could possibly do is possibly like textile production. So that way you do learn how certain materials can interact, and screen printing will definitely help. Sublimation is a pretty simple technique. It's a lot of trial and error, and that's really how we perfected what we have, our process today is just trial and error over the past few years, and bringing it to the home front. We used to source these out quite a few years ago, and then we figured out our process. So yeah, this thing is nice and hot out of this oven, press, whatever you want to call it. So we got a couple heat sinks is what he's doing right now. So basically what we want to do is when this material comes out of this press, it's going from 400 degrees right back to room temperature, lickety split. So instead of making it a piece of bacon, we stick it here in these heat sinks. So if you were here and you could touch this thing, it's probably hovering around 100, 150 degrees, this aluminum. But what it's important for is to just immediately start withdrawing the heat out of it. And we got another one over here. So on a normal business production day, Taylor will be over here, and he'll just be pumping, top sheets in and out of this thing all day long, just back and forth, back and forth. So this thing will get full. We got a stack of some, finished product right down there underneath. But right now, so this will be fairly cool enough to transfer to this next one. So we got the series of two. So we got the initial draw from here, and then this one that he's doing right now is to pull the rest of the heat out, get it nice and room temp, and also keep it flat, which is what we're doing down here. Otherwise, if we don't do that, we're going to get a ripple effect right here, and it's going to be basically like laying a piece of bacon on a snowboard.
So you have to do this for every single board graphic that you do.
Every single one individual.
Wow.
So the 35,000 that we do every single year, we are hands-on with every single one.
Whoa. Okay, this is insane. A couple more comments here. Let's see, what do we got? Justin Lindell. The whole factory is watching live while being live. Okay.
Justin, good call.
Which is pretty funny because we're here building a snowboard, but because we're doing it, the whole factory is watching this live, and no other snowboards are getting built. So it's that's kind of ironic. Let's see here. Not sure if I missed it earlier, but do you guys use special transfer ink?
No, we just use a dye sublimation ink, which is water-based, that we are provided from Epson.
Okay. I understood none of that.
It's just regular ink that we print into paper. There's nothing really special about it.
I kind of understood that. Okay. Monica Musiel. More demonic graphics for female riders would be awesome. Yeah, all right. You guys look, just get some like chainsaws, hacking heads off, whatever. Oh, wait. Actually, hey, there was a comment earlier, and it said, somebody said, oh, where do ski hills store moguls in the summer? And Mike Gagliardi. Where do ski hills store the moguls during the summer? Does anyone know? I feel like it's like a joke, right? There's got to be. I'm like,
inside joke, Jeremy?
No, it's probably like something like in the something. Do you know?
Tell Mike Gagliardi to get back to work.
Oh, gags, get back to work. But also, if you're still watching, please tell us the answer because I know it's some corny thing like. Yeah, what is the punchline here? Don't leave us hanging. Okay, where are we going here? Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that this is now down to room temperature to where we need it. Yep, it's nice and flat. So what Taylor's going to do from this point, on a normal production day, he's just going to start stacking them up here and just stack and stack and stack. But with this graphic, we'll swing around here, and we're going to come over here to the other side of the room, which is where Seamus is at. Yes, ladies, that's right. His name is Seamus, and he's quite proud of that. So what his responsibility is here, he's our lamination tech. So he's basically the last defense before this board goes out to the production floor to be built. So what he's doing here is he's just kind of giving a once-over, making sure the colors are correct. We proof all of our products here, so we know what the colors are supposed to be. So what he's doing is he's running it through this tape material and laminating that. And the importance of that is to protect this graphic through the production process. So once it... It is, yeah. This comes off in our finishing process. It's the very last thing to come off before the board is finished up and sent to the shipping room and out to the consumer. So this is kind of where it starts at. As you can see, it's clear, so we can see the graphic. But it's also important through our base grinding procedure. It's super tacky on the bottom, so it's not going to peel up when it's under that material. And it's also got kind of a gritty texture to it. So it sticks to the rubber wheels that are on our base grinders. So, when they're running a board through this high-speed wheel that has sandpaper on it, it's going to grip on the rubber wheel that's opposite. So basically, it's not going to shoot out of the machine and act like an arrow and tag somebody and hurt somebody. So, but yeah, once he's done that, again, he's over here. We got a big stack of prints right underneath that one for future production, and then we've got a rack over here that we store everything for and get it ready. So we're trying to stay ahead of the game as much as possible, so we're not, if we run into any issues, we can correct them, and it's not gonna falter or alter our production or anything like that. So from this point, we send it out to production floor and get them built.
So that's kind of the final stage in the studio.
Yep, in this room, that is the final stage. Once he's all finished and he's got everything stacked in the quantities that we need, which is usually 30 or 35, we send them either to the rack or right out the door to get built, and then we just keep going for the next day.
All right, well, hey, thank you so much, and you killed it.
Cool.
Killed it. So, real quick, we had a couple last questions here. Garrett Joseph, I'm getting a Never Summer Park board. What would you recommend, the Evo, the Fun Slinger, Warlock, or the Type 2?
Oh, man, it all depends on the style, The Type 2 is a little bit of a stiffer park board. Might be more for the guy who's liking to hit the jump line. Warlock, a little softer flex, a little more of a jib board. Fun Slinger, it's got that asymmetrical side cut. It's super soft, really playful board. I mean, it really comes down to the rider. We always recommend that people go up to our demos. We do demos throughout the whole country where you can go and actually try the board for free and really give you an idea of what you're looking for. But, in my opinion, being here and working here, I get a little spoiled, get to ride a little bit of everything, but they're all super fun. You can't really go wrong. But yeah, it just kind of comes down to the rider.
Okay, we got a couple more questions coming in here. We are live, so feel free to comment your questions, and we'll get them answered for you. We are here in the design/printing studio of Never Summer, and we are designing the board that we've been building from the ground up that we're going to be giving away at the Block Festival. Sean Teodor, always coming in with good questions. Do you UV or clear coat?
No, we don't do that. The material that we get has a UV coating on it, so they will last long and they won't fade in the sun. Yep. But we don't do any clear coating on these.
Okay, perfect. Bring back, Joshua Wolf, bring back the SL. Was that a board model?
Yeah, it was the board model. And that's kind of been replaced, where it's evolved into the Snow Trooper, which is the most similar ride to that. But yeah, the SL is definitely a staple in our lineup for a very long time. But if that's the board you're liking, I would recommend getting on the Snow Trooper, or the West could also be a good comparable board to the SL.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, oh, that's a crazy comment about storing the moguls, which is inappropriate. Austin Barrow, do you guys ever make custom buyer-designed type boards?
We won't do one-off boards so much. Just at the volume we're at these days, we just don't have the time in the day. Unfortunately, we'd love to make custom boards for everyone out there, but we will do runs. We have certain minimums that we need to make in order. But yeah, we will have guys come in who want their own custom graphics done, whether it be a shop that wants his custom graphics, or like a beer company, like Breckenridge Brewery, something like that. So we are open to custom projects when we can fit them in, for sure.
Comment from Adam Watkins. I have a Never Summer ripsaw, and I love it. Keep doing your thing, guys. All right. Well, good props. Good props. Oh, geez. Another. Gosh, lots of crazy comments coming in today. Let's see. Can I have a free demo board? Do you guys ever give away free boards?
Well, we're giving one away at Snowboard on the Block this Saturday. Boom. Yeah. So, yep, but yeah, we love giving out boards, at contests and events that we do. So, yep, we love getting them under people's feet as much as we can, for sure.
All right, so this kind of wraps up this episode today. Tomorrow, we are going to be going back into the crazy, noisy factory and doing the rest of the process. We're going to be putting the top sheet that you just saw onto the actual board and going through the rest of the process. And then we're going to be giving away this board this Friday or Saturday at the Snowboard on the Block Festival, October 14th to 15th in Denver, Colorado. Go to blockfestival.com to get some tickets. You guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are super. I learned more than I've ever learned today. And, yeah, that's it. If you did not see yesterday's episode, which was really cool, that was the beginning, it is on our site right now, twsnow.com. And tune in tomorrow at noon. We will be back to build some more Never Summer boards. Later, you guys.